Hey everyone, welcome to my very first devlog. Yeah, I started game dev a couple years ago but never took it seriously. And I always found myself leaving everything behind for a couple months and then had to start from the very beginning again and again. So this is kind of my real first try with game dev. And I thought it would be cool to document my journey from the very beginning. Well, it's not my actual beginning, since I've done a couple projects before, but none of them were really exciting. Today, I'll be sharing my first ever game, and yes, it's Pwn. I even uploaded to itch.io, including all the bugs it has, and got me 2 followers, 4 views, and this random comment. So, as I said, I decided to recreate the classic Pwn. I mean, it's a pretty simple game on the surface, just paddles, a ball, and some bouncing. It was a bit rough since I tried to not follow any tutorials, so I don't fall on the well-known tutorial hell. And even though this game should be easy to make, it was really rough for someone like me, especially when trying to fix bugs and implement new mechanics such as score systems and main menu logic and UI. But what can possibly go wrong with such a simple game, you might ask? Well, welcome to my world. Somehow, everything I code ends up with a tons of bugs. First off, the ball will only move horizontally. No diagonal, no randomness, just a straight line like it was on rails. Yeah, not very exciting. Then randomly the ball will start speeding up like it was on turbo mode. Totally unintentional and kind of terrifying for someone like me. I also made a simple start menu where you can click to start or quit the game, even though the options bottom it's not working and it's not super fancy, it does the job, it works. I took a simple Google image as a background since I was so focused on the development part of the game without worrying about art or music. It made the whole thing feel a bit more like a real game, which was really satisfying for me. From this experience, as tiny as it might sound, I learned a lot just fixing those 2 bugs alone. Like how to add randomness to the ball's directions, how delta time affects speed, and how little changes can make a big difference. And on the other side of things, I also jumped into Sprite for the first time and made this little duck. He's got a weird little charm to him, and honestly, I love how he turned out. I might use him as a mascot or sneak him into a future game, who knows. But for my first time trying Sprite and doing an actual pixel art, I think it was okay. And yeah, I decided to create this very first video to give myself a starting point since it's the hardest part of the process. And even with all the bugs and rough edges, seeing something you made actually run, even though it sucks, is such a good feeling. Thanks for checking out my first devlog. If you want to see more or my future games, please let me know in the comments. Also, if you're also starting out in the game dev, let me know also in the comments. We can learn from each other. And hey, maybe subscribe if you want to see what I mess up next. And without any further ado, I'll see you in the next one.